Residential Market Analysis and Highest and Best Use, Chapter 4, Highest and Best Use. Page 1, Highest and Best Use. Highest and Best Use Theory. The highest and best use is a recognized theory used in conjunction with the appraisal process. The theory is founded in the correlation between the highest probable value of the property and its highest and best use to attain the highest return on the owner's original investment. Appraisal assignments that require an opinion of market value imply that the property will be valued at its highest and best use. Learning objectives. Upon completion of this chapter, the participant will be able to outline the basics of highest and best use. Explain the concepts of market analysis. The definition of highest and best use as taken from the Appraisal of Real Estate 13th edition, pages 277 through 278, and published by the Appraisal Institute is as follows. The reasonably probable and legal use of vacant land or an improved property that is physically possible, appropriately supported, and financially feasible, and that results in its highest value. A similar definition of highest and best use is found in the Dictionary of Real Estate Appraisal, 6th edition, and published by the Appraisal Institute as follows. The reasonably probable use of property that results in the highest value. The four criteria that the highest and best use must meet are legal permissibility, physical possibility, financial feasibility, and maximum productivity. Another definition that has been advanced is taken from the Illustrated Dictionary of Real Estate Appraisal by Henry S. Harrison, page 138, published by Collegiate Distributing Company, 315 Whitney Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut, 06511. The utilization of a property to its best and most profitable use. It is that use chosen from among reasonably probable and legal alternative uses, which is found to be physically possible, appropriately supported, and financially feasible to result in the highest and best use. Other common statements associated with highest and best use are the physically possible, legally permissible, financially feasible, and reasonably probable use that produces the greatest value for the property on the effective date of an appraisal, or the use that gives the property the greatest value as defined on the effective date of the appraisal, or the use that produces the optimum value of the property for the property, or the use that creates the greatest return. Each of these definitions identifies that the highest and best use has several contributing parts. The use must be legally permissible, physically possible, and financially feasible, with the appraiser being able to support each of these contribution factors. The land and the improvements must be able to produce the greatest value and create the greatest return as of a specific date and time. Even though all of the definitions specifically mention the property, initially the highest and best use essentially refers to the land or site. The improvements may or may not actually contribute to the highest and best use of the land area. When looking at the definitions, we can recognize that the components initially apply to the highest and best use of the land at a specified period in time. The market value of the land is always determined by its highest and best use. The land's highest and best use may be limited due to several factors which we already know to be either governmental or private restrictions, legal. The value of the land is enhanced by location and utility, physical. The appraiser, through market analysis, will consider demand for the subject land area in a particular location and the scarcity of available land in that particular area. The market forces are at work as the appraiser will examine those physical and economic forces as of a specific date and form a supportable opinion of the land's highest and best use. The improvements to the land also can contribute to the land value. The improvements are normally valued for their contributory value relative to the highest and best use of the land. In most residential appraisal assignments, the land is already improved with some sort of building. The appraiser will determine, through an inferred analysis of the market, whether the present improvements actually contribute to the overall highest and best use of the land area. As discussed, determination of the highest and best use of the property as of an effective date is a requirement for the appraiser's development process when accepting a market value appraisal assignment. The appraiser must gather or assemble enough relevant information about the property to analyze the market area and develop an opinion of the property's highest and best use. First, as though the land were vacant, and then as the land is actually improved. Once the highest and best use opinion has been developed for the property, the judgment phase of the appraisal assignment can end and the execution phase, the actual valuation process, can begin. End of page.